Hey guys, what's going on tonight? Gonna do a video here on the Seibon carbon trunk lid and the JD Muscle Swan neck carbon wing. Got installed, just finished it up. Overall, pretty lengthy project to do this. Had to do quite a bit of modifications on the trunk lid to get stuff to fit. And I was really nervous about installing the Swan neck wing and drilling through the carbon. But JD Muscle, they sent some really nice templates that helped with the drilling the holes. And it was actually drilled through pretty simple. And just getting all the holes aligned correctly in the hardware, and I'll go over that here in a little bit. But super happy with how this turned out. I really like the look of the Swan neck. This got tired of the whole STI style wing since so many people, common wing that run that, want to do something different. It's nice and wide on here, and the Seibon carbon trunk lid fits pretty much perfect. All the holes lined up for everything that I swapped over from the OEM trunk lid. And the only thing is I got this little bit of a gap on this side compared to the other side. It's a little bit bigger and it sits up a little bit higher on this side. I tried doing some adjustments, but I couldn't really get it to even out. But I did check it from the inside with the trunk closed. The rubber seals all the way around on the inside, so I don't think I should have any issues with water getting inside of it. I guess I'll have to test that when I go to the car wash. All the way across the bottom, it's nice and even. And all along here, you can see this side fits a lot better and more flush on this side. I just measured the STI wing on the OEM trunk lid, and the height on the STI wing is about 9¼ inches. The Swan neck is roughly 8 3/4. So about a ½ inch lower on the Swan neck than the STI wing. So I really like how it looks, and I'll go over some of the install stuff here. And you have to watch it when you go to open the trunk, because this trunk lid is so much lighter than the stock one. I was actually surprised how heavy the stock one was once I took it off, but I wouldn't pop this from inside the car if you decide to install one, because it'll fling the trunk up pretty quick. So you kind of got to do it from the back and hold it down so it doesn't fly up. So hold on just a second here. All right, yeah, I didn't want to let it up. So this whole trim piece back here, this garnish, I guess you call it, already had this carbon fiber overlay piece installed on it. It just installs with 3M tape. But so you got the 2 license plate lights, and then you have the backup camera, and then the OEM Subaru badge here is all like one piece that comes off. There's a like a clip behind the badge, and then there's 4 clips along this whole garnish piece here, this trim, and then it also is held in. You got an 8mm nut there on this little stud piece that goes through, and then there is one right there on this side, and then you have 2 8mm screws. There's one on this side and then one on that side, so it helps to secure that piece on this whole piece right here. And then for the whole the latch right here is pretty simple. You have 2 10mm bolts that are in here, and that this drops off, and then the wire harness here, because it's electronic, to unlock that. And you just pretty much have to unclip all this wiring harness from the OEM trunk lid. You got clips here, all along. I mean, it's pretty easy. Just take some pictures of it before you remove it, and then put it back on. It's for the license plate light here, and then one over here. And I will tell you, you're gonna have to do a lot of modifications on the inside of this to get the stuff to fit right. So the biggest thing was there's already cutouts up here for where the license plate light goes and the backup camera. Those holes are too small, so I had to take a Dremel, and I'll show you what I did. I have this bit here that I use to widen out the holes on the carbon and just kind of go around. So what I had to do was take a metric steel ruler and measure the dimensions on the OEM trunk, and then mark them on this to make them wider. It was only a couple millimeters wider and longer that I had to make the holes. And then also with this carbon being a bit thicker than the sheet metal on the trunk, you kind of got to thin the carbon out a little bit on the inside, because these license plate lights just have like plastic clips, you can see right here, that come in. So thinning out the carbon a little bit to get those to pop in and lock into place, because like I said, the OEM trunk lid is a thin sheet metal where they pop in and they clip in no problem, where these, they had to do a lot of Dremel work, like I said, all the way around to get those to pop in right. And then also all the holes for the plastic clips were too small, so I had to drill those out bigger. For the OEM studs here, I just had to make those a little bit bigger, but all the 4 holes for the clips to go in, had to make those bigger. And then for the badge to pop in, the OEM Subaru badge, had to make that hole bigger. And then also all these holes for that carpet piece that goes back up over that, all those holes were too small as well. So I had to drill all those out and smooth them out with the Dremel as well. So I spent pretty much all afternoon yesterday, like 4 or 5 hours, doing all that, just going back and forth, making those holes bigger. And it makes a huge mess. You got all the carbon dust all over the place in the car. I just finished cleaning it. It was all over the place, breathing that stuff in. It wasn't fun. And then getting the trunk mocked up yesterday when I did all that installation and Dremeled all that. And then I got the wing installed this afternoon, which pretty much took all afternoon as well. And I'll show you that. So basically, you have these metal brackets that go in here that support it on the bottom of the trunk lid, which is really nice because I wasn't sure what kind of hardware this was going to come with. And I was really wanting, if it didn't come with it, I was going to mock something up to put it on the bottom side of that trunk lid just for extra support on it. So I'm really glad it came with these metal brackets. There's this whole piece right here that you can kind of see where it curves up, and then you have a threaded like nut on it, and then that Allen or the Phillips screws into that, and then this whole piece goes here, then it goes straight all the way down, and then here's the other part of the bracket here where it goes through. And then there's another small, like an L-shaped bracket that goes here. So the L bracket pretty much ties in with this other bracket that goes up and down, and then it overlaps on top of that, and then curves up, and then has another threaded nut on it where it goes in right there. So it's really nice support on the whole inside of this carbon, which I was worried about. Really nice and secure on there. And I'll show you these templates it comes with. So I was really surprised it came with these templates here. And let's see here. All right, so you can see here it says RH at the top, which is right hand. All those spots circled in red is where you have to drill. And pretty much there's, you can see that little plastic piece there sticking up, and then this little piece here. It fits exactly in right there in the trunk. So then pretty much that template goes up right there. Drill your holes through, and right on the money. It's perfect. The only thing that was off was this top hole right here for that top screw to go through. You can see the hole there on the bottom. I had to drill another hole higher up on the top because it didn't line up right after I tried to put that bracket on. So I had to do it on both sides with that and put it up a little bit higher there on the top. And then once I did that, it was perfectly lined up and it was good. And you're gonna have to make sure on the bottom here, you gotta use a cone drill bit to make that hole pretty big. That'll give you access with a 10mm socket for that nut there. And then also to fit that L bracket in there. I had just enough room to get that bracket in there and then over to put the screw through it in the place there. And the hole here I drilled through to access that 10mm nut. I didn't drill this out bigger because I was able to get a 10mm wrench here on the side and to tighten that up, so I didn't have to make that hole any bigger. So I didn't have to do that. That was on both sides. Got a 10mm wrench in there to tighten that down. So there is the two 10mm nuts on each side on those brackets to hold that into place. I'm gonna put that carpet back on once I get done with this. I'm gonna put a ceramic coat on this carbon and clean it up. Latches down really nice and tight. And pretty much the feet here that go down on the bottom side, you just have these M6 studs that screw into the bottom. They're real nice quality hardware, all stainless, nice aluminum brackets. So you have two M6 studs that screw into the bottom. I use Loctite on all the hardware. And then once you put the studs in on the feet, they give you some like some cushion pieces so it doesn't scratch the carbon. And then there's some other real thin like sheet metal pieces that go underneath, and then you do the I don't know what you call it, the like felt pieces that go on there. So really nice, like I said, how it's set up, how it mounts on there. And then you have basically two M6 Allen bolts that come in from the bottom right here on both sides. And then threads up through there. And then you have this bolt here. It has like a plastic spacer inside of it, and then the nut on that side, and then just another Allen bolt right there that puts that into place. I thought this was adjustable because there was another hole on the bottom down here to where like you could angle it, but there's only the one hole, and there should be, I thought, another hole on the bottom so you could adjust it, but you can't. You can only put it in the one hole. You can't adjust it, I guess. So I think it looks pretty good where it's at. And now I got the matching trunk with the hood. So yeah, this was definitely a pretty big project. I mean, if you don't really have a lot of experience doing this stuff, and definitely take it somewhere, have somebody help you out. But I did this all by myself, and like I said, this trunk lid's so light, it was easy to pretty much put on there and thread the bolt into it and hold it in place. But yeah, anyone looking to do this, have any questions on it, go ahead and let me know.